Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Happy New Year. I was going to say Shana Tova, but it is the beginning of a new year, a secular new year, a new year in which we bring new blessing, new glasses, a new vision, a new look into what are the possibilities that could come. And oftentimes I think we get a little sidetracked. Sometimes we get taken off onto distractions, and it's not to say that distractions are wrong. It's not about good, right, wrong, or indifferent. Distractions are there for many reasons. We get distracted by many different things, reading, and we get distracted with gossip. We get distracted with TV. You can add to the list. Distractions are okay. What's important though is that we know that that's what's happening and that we have a way in which to return to our focus. That's part of what tshuva is turning, remembering that we ought to turn our attention, turn our focus, turn the way in which we view our daily living. And the single best way, at least I found, is how we start our morning. How is our focus? Sometimes you might wake up in the morning and you're excited. Sometimes you might wake up in the morning and you're not excited. Sometimes you might wake up in the morning ready to take on the day, and other times you just want to pull the covers over your head because it was a late night last night. But how do we help ourselves change the focus? How do we help ourselves change as a lot of people talk about, mindset? If you turn to page 146 for our morning blessings, this is one way in which to do this. And we focus on the blessings. We focus on what are our blessings. We count our blessings. We don't count what's going wrong. We don't count all the problems that are happening through the day. We count and we take an accounting of our blessings. The very first thing starts off, it says, we offer praises to you, O God, ruler of the universe, for helping us, giving us back our consciousness, knowing that we have divinity inside of us. This doesn't mean that we're gods. This just means that there's something special and unique about our ability to be human beings. Is it not true that we are fundamentally the most advanced human or advanced creatures on this planet? Our ability to think, our ability to be kind and loving, our ability to be human, that is an amazing opportunity for all of us. And it continues on and on. So that helps us as we focus, as we enter into these blessings, and the cantor will lead us in this. It's important for us to remember that what we focus on grows. And so we start our mornings focusing on blessings so that the blessings grow throughout our day. And notice that this is done every day, continually. It's not something that you just do as a one-off on a New Year's Day or in a New Year week, that we should focus our blessings. I'm blessed. I am grateful. I'm honored. I'm here with our cantor as we enter into this new year, first Shabbos of the new year. So grateful, but also blessed. And one of my blessings is to be able to be and work with my partner, Cantor Ray, as we provide services, and as we look towards this year, that there will be, again, many more changes. So Yasher Koach to you, Cantor, as we begin our service on page 146.
Shabbat Shalom. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you, Rabbi. You are my partner. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan l'sech v'bina lehavhin ben yom u'ben laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani betzalmo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam roka haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa li kol tzarki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher chechin mitzadei gaber. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael bigvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten layaf koach.
We turn now to page 218 with Shochenan Ma'arom V'Kadosh Shemo, God's name. How do you connect with other people? And it's through a personal relationship. What are personal relationships? One in which we share who we are, share a part of us, are able to allow others to see who we truly are. That's how a relationship works. As it's true with ourselves and true with other people, it's true with God. How is it that we relate? That's how all relationships start, is by relating to others. Find somebody today that you can relate to, that you can share with. And in that connection, you can connect with God, self, and others. Shochenad.
Shochenad marom v'kadosh shemo v'katuv ranenu tzadikim b'Adonai lasharim nava tehila b'fi sharim tithalal u'b'divrei tzadikim titbarah u'vilshon chasidim titromam u'v'kerev kedoshim titkadash Uv'machalot revivot amcha beit Yisrael. Rinai pershim hamotenu v'chodor v'ador. Shaken chovat chocha yitzurim lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu lehodot lehalel leshabeach lefar leromim lehader levarech leoleo kales al kol divrei shirot batishbachot David ben Yishai Abdecha Meshichecha Yishtabach Shimcha Lad Malkeinu Hayel Hamelech Berachot v'adot me'ata ve'ad olam Baruch atah Adonai El Melech Gadol Batishbachot El Ha'od Ha'od Adon HaNiflaot Abocher b'shirei zimra, melech elchei ha'olamim.
On page 224, we enter into formal worship. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or v'rei hoshech osei shalom u'v'rei hakol. Praised are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who forms light and creates darkness, who ordains the harmony of all creation. We turn now to page 228 with the mystical poem for Shabbat, or hymn as they call it, bringing into mind the beauty that is creation. Let's take a moment today on Shabbat and in the coming year, truly appreciating the wonder and the beauty that is God's creation, that we are a part of, not separate from.
El Adon al kol hamasim Baruch v'ora b'fi kol neshama Gadlo v'tuvo mahalei olam Da'ad u'tvuna sovev imoto Hamikael al chayot hakodesh v'nedar b'chavod al chamerchava Zuru mishor livnei chiso Chesed v'rachamim livnei chivodo Tovim me'orot shabara Eloheinu Yitzaram bedat bevina uvhaskel Koal gvura natan bahem Liot moshlim bekerev tevel Melim ziv umfikim noga Na'ezivam b'chol ha'olam Smechim b'tzeitam b'sasim bevoam Osim be'em ha'retzon konam Per v'chavod nonim lishmo Zach laverin alel zecher malchuto Kara l'shemesh v'yizrachor Ra'a v'chit kin surat havana Shevach nonim lo Kol tzava ma'arom Tiferet u'gedula Seraphim ve'ofanim ve'chayot hakodesh.
On page 236, there's a beautiful phrase in our liturgy: cause a new light to shine on Zion, and may we all be worthy to delight in its splendor. Just the thought, and my thought for this year moving forward, that I hope to hold close to my heart and in my thoughts, is that does my presence bring joy to those around me? When I enter into a room, do I bring a presence of joy? Ultimately, this is part of the light that the Kabbalists are speaking to when they are at least understanding a light that is shining forward. What is the presence of God? Do you feel the presence of God? And the best way to see if the presence of God is around or near or a part of you is when you walk in a room, do people respond to you? Are people joyful that you're around? Hopefully, the case is so. Or Chadash.
Or Hadash al Sion Ta'ir v'nizkech ulanu mehera leoro. Or Hadash al Sion Ta'ir v'nizkech ulanu mehera leoro. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hameorot.
On page 238, Ahava Rabbah.
Ahava Rabbah Ahavtanu Adonai Eloheinu Amla Gedola V'Tera Chamalta Aleinu Avinu Malkeinu Ba'avur Avotenu Shabbatchu V'cha Avinu Malkeinu Vat lamdem chukei chayim, kein techanenu telamdenu, avinu ha'av harachaman, amrachem rachem aleinu. V'tein belibenu lehavinu hashkil lishmoa, le'lemodu le'lamed, lishmor ve'lasot. Ulkayem et kol divrei Talmud Torah techa v'ahava v'taher libenu v'torah techa v'dabek v'enu v'mitzvotecha v'yached levavenu v'ahava ulira et shemecha v'lo nebosh le'olam va'ed v'lo nebosh le'olam va'ed ki v'shem kadshecha hagadol v'hanora batachnu nagila v'nizmecha b'shuatecha.
Gather our people in peace, O Lord, from the four corners of the earth, as we gather our four seat from the four corners of our talit.
V'havienu le'shalom me'arba kanfot ha'aretz v'tolichenu komemiut le'artzenu Ki el poel Yeshua data, uvanu v'charta mikolam velashon, v'keravtanu l'shimecha gadol sela be'emet lehodot lecha. Uyachedcha be'ahava, Baruch atah Adonai, Abocher be'amo Yisrael, be'ahava. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ata et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam Beshivtecha bebetecha uvelechtecha baderech ushachbecha uvekumecha ukshartam leotal yadecha vehayu letotafot beheinenecha Uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha.
The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the children of Israel and bid them to make fringes in the corners of their garments throughout their generations, putting upon the fringes of each corner a thread of blue. When you look upon the fringes, you will be reminded of all the commandments of the Lord and obey them. You will not be led astray by the inclinations of your heart or by the attractions of your eyes. Thus, you will be reminded to fulfill all my commandments and be consecrated to your God. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God."
Leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vehitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem. Amen.
אמת ויציב ונכון וקיים וישר ונאמן ואהוב וחביב ונחמד ונעים ונורא ואדיר ומתוקן ומקובל וטוב ויפה הדבר הזה עלינו לעולם ועד. Truly, the God of the universe is our sovereign. The rock of Jacob is our protecting shield who exists throughout all the generation, whose sovereignty is firmly established and whose faithfulness endures forever. We turn now to page 252 as we prepare for the Amidah.
Tehilot le'el elyon barhum vorach, Moshe uvnei Yisrael chanu shira, besimcha rava ve'omru chulam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nohora tehilot ohosef eleh. Shira hadashat shibahu golim l'shimcha al safat hayam yachad kulam hodu v'him l'chu ve'omru Adonai imloch le'olam v'hed Sur Yisrael kuma ve'ezrat Yisrael ufedechinu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai tzavot shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
On page 254, the cantor will lead us with the Shachrit Amidah for the Sabbath. Adonai sifataitis tach ufid yagid tehilatecha. God, open our lips that our mouths may declare your praises.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol v'Zocher Chazdei Avot Umevi Goel Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai Mechayeh metim atah Rav lehoshia Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem Mechalkel chayim bechesed Mechayeh metim berachamim rabim Somech noflim v'rofech olim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishanei afar, michamocha ba'geburot, umito melach, melech memid umachaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'emanata lechahayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hametim.
We thankfully acknowledge you, our God and God of our ancestors, Lord of eternity. You are the source of strength, even as you have been Israel's protecting shield in every generation. We thank you and proclaim your praise for our lives, which are in your hands, for our souls, which are in your care, for your miracles, which are with us daily, and for your wondrous kindness at all times, morning, noon, and night. Source of all goodness, your mercies never fail. Source of compassion, your kindness never ceases. You are our hope. Say shalom ben Ramav, huya say shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Oh, say shalom bimromav. Huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru, imru, amen.
We now turn to our Torah portion today, which is Vayechi. So we say the bracha, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Vayechi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim, sheva esrei shana, vayehi yimei Yaakov shnei chayav, Sheva shanim ve'arba'im uma'at shana, vayikrevu yamei Yisrael lamud, vayikra levano leYosef, vayomer lo ina metzati chen beinecha, simna yadcha tachat yarechi, ועשית עמדי חסד ואמת, אל נא תקברני במצרים. ושכבתי עם אבותי, ונשאתני ממצרים, וקברתני בקבורתם, ויאמר, אנוכי אעשה כדברך, ויאמר, הישבע לי וישבע לו, וישתחו ישראל על ראש המיטה. Starts off this week's Torah portion with Jacob lived 17 years in the land of Egypt, so that the span of Jacob's life came to 147 years. This Torah portion is always read right around the new year, and we're often thinking, unfortunately, this is not great thinking, but it's thinking that we have all become accustomed to is beginning and end. And it's good to mark the differences between the beginning, middle, and end of something. I've even said that here, and I stand before you as someone who contradicts himself quite often, but it's important that at times in a spiritual life, we cannot set boundaries. Boundaries are for our physical. And so we often see life as just about the physical, but isn't life much more? Isn't there something inside of us that tells us there's much more to the life than we're just experiencing here? And yet we still play out with these two extreme ends and beginnings. In other words, we start off the year one way and we end the year. Even in our minds, we think January 1st, something will be different. And we know in our heart of hearts, there's not really that big of a difference between what was yesterday and what was today. Isn't that right? We often do this with our life, and this is what we see when Jacob is described as his life. We often look at our life as we are born and then we pass away. There's always the neat little idea that it's what happens in between that matters, but we all know it's not just what happens in between that matters. We are much larger than just the life that we live from when we were born into when we die. When we live our lives, truly live our lives, do we not touch lives of other people? Do we not affect change in other people? Do we not continue to grow in the ways in which we live our lives? We often interact with other people that will live much longer than us. This year, as we look at this week's Torah portion, when it says Jacob lived 17 years in the land of Egypt, so that the span of Jacob's life came to 147 years. Always in the Torah, it is broken up. It's never just said he was 147 years old. It says 147 years. It talks about different periods in life, and that each and every time we are to focus and be in the moment in which we're in, not concerned about where we were in memory, not concerned about where we will be in our imagination, but where we are here today, where we are in our lives today, so that we can truly live our life. A life well lived is a life worth emulating. And we look at Jacob's life that was so much bigger than just his born and dead. His life is so much bigger, ultimately, yes, because of his sons, yes, because of the bracha, but yes, because did we not just say, as the cantor sung beautifully, sons of Abraham, that we pray in the name of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It is our purpose that a life well lived, may we live our life to the best of our ability, so that people will say our names as we enter into the world to come, not in the sense of heaven, but in the world that will come in our imagination and in the future. Let's spend this Shabbos and this new year truly living our life, so that we can touch those in our lives, so that we can live a fulfilled and blessed life. Shabbat Shalom. We now continue with Aleinu on page 480.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lateit gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kachol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei melech malchei hamelachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu notei shamayim be'osed haaretz, umoshav yikaro b'shamayim im ha'al, u'shchinatu zo, begavei meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od. Emet malkeinu efesulato, kakatuv betorato, v'yadata hayom v'hashevota elevadecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, b'shamayim imha, ve'al ha'aretz mitachat. Einod.
For sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory. As it is written in your Torah, the Lord shall reign forever and ever. And it has been foretold, the Lord shall be sovereign over all the earth. On that day the Lord shall be one, and shall be acclaimed as one.
Kakatuv b'toratecha, Adonai imloch le'olam v'hed, v'nehemar, v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz, v'yom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
May the memories which we cherish and lovingly now recall inspire us so to live that we too may bequeath a heritage of precious memories to those whom we shall leave behind. In this week's yard sites, Ted Gerner, father of David Gurney, Louis Moot, grandfather of Terry Greenberg, Tema Stevens, niece of Shirley Cohen, Gregory Yarslow, friend of Lori Rimlin Bond, Sarah Cohen, mother-in-law of Shirley Cohen, Claire Greenberg, mother of Earl Greenberg, Leo Copley, father of Doreen Barsky, Robert Luenda, father of Stephen Luenda, Lawrence D. Halliburton, father of Tommy Halliburton, and Joseph Zebrak, father of Eileen Hamos. Ribono Shalom, Elohai L'chol Basar, master of the world, God of the spirit of all flesh, it is revealed and known before you that it is our desire to praise your name and to remember and honor our beloved. May our yearnings and prayers find favor in your eyes and be accepted and revealed before you as if we are in presence together to say the mourner's Kaddish. May you grant hope and healing to all who suffer, and may we soon be able to once again safely gather in holiness and joy. May your name, God, be elevated and sanctified everywhere on earth, and may peace reign everywhere. Oseh shalom ben Ramav, huya aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May God, who makes harmony and peace in the heights, grant harmony and peace to us, all Israel and all humankind, and let us all say, amen. We conclude with Adon Olam on page 488.
And in honor of the new year, you're not going to like this, believe me. Adon Olam asher mola b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'ed nasa v'hevzo kol azay melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimlok nora Vehu haya vehu hove vehu yeh b'tifara vehu echad be'ein sheni lehamshilo lehachbira beli reshit beli tachlit velo ha'oz ve'hamizra vehu eli v'chai goali v'tzur chevli be'etzara Vehu nisi umanos limanat kosi beyom ekra beyado av kidruchi beyedi shan be'ayra ve'im ruchi gaviati adon oili velo ira.
Yasher koach.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yasher koach to you, Cantor. Shabbat shalom lekulam. Have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed, and healthy new year.